Hi everyone! So I wanted to take a second and, well, not a second, more like maybe a couple minutes. I'm going to try and get this story out as fast as possible, but I wanted to talk to you guys about something that happened to me 2 days ago. 2 days ago on the Metro Rail. As most of you know, if you do watch my videos, I take the Metro Rail every single day to get to school. And there's a gentleman that I have seen in the past, and he has tried to make derogatory comments towards me and try and get my attention, and for the most part I'm able to ignore him and walk away. Yesterday when I was in the Metro Rail, he happened to walk into the next stop and he sat down right in front of me, and the first thing I did was text my boyfriend and I said, hey, that guy who I told you harasses girls on the Metro Rail all the time, he's here sitting in front of me and I'm scared. I'm really scared. And, my boyfriend was just sending me, support, have your knife handy. And I put my book bag in front of me. I kept this knife next to me here, and I had the book bag here just in case. So he was saying sexual innuendos, and he was saying derogatory comments to me. And he was basically saying things along the line of basically that he wanted to rape me. That's basically what he was saying. He kept saying that he was going to get me and do things to me, and whether I liked it or not, he was going to do it. And that's along the lines of rape. So I was just completely catatonic and I couldn't move. And in my head, I'm like, Zen, get up. Zen, get off at the next stop. Zen, say something to someone, anything. But I was just completely scared down to my bones. Like, I felt numb and I couldn't do anything. So when he got off at his stop, he got off and he stood there on the platform and he was making gestures at me and grabbing things that he shouldn't have been grabbing in front of me. Finally, the doors closed to the Metro Rail and the car started moving and I just started crying. I was just so happy and scared at the same time. And the first thing I did was I called my boyfriend. He stayed on the phone with me the entire time. I went downstairs, told security what happened. They alerted the people at the center that he was at. And then I went back and I went to school. I actually recorded a video right in the moment when I got to a classroom of mine. And I recorded what happened to me. If you want to see that video, let me know in the comments below and maybe I'll post it. I'll think about it. It didn't stop there. So I know that this guy lives in the area of where I do work for my dad. I pass out flyers for my father's salon, and I went to my dad. I made the decision to tell my dad that I couldn't continue doing the job that I was doing because I didn't want to heighten the possibility of me running into him in a neighborhood where not many cars are or something like that. And I didn't want anything to happen to me. And I felt really bad because I really wanted to help my dad out, but I couldn't. I'm not going to risk my life. So, of course, as I'm on my way, the security guard, I talked to him at the station and he told me, hey, look, what you should do is go and file a police report so that if in the case that something happens, you can have a police report down pat. It's there in your records and you won't go to jail because it'll be like, okay, well, he's already sexually harassed her once. If anything should happen, here you go, here's the next one. So of course, as I'm waiting for the bus to take the bus over to the police station to file a police report, guess who shows up? This guy. So the security guard told me, hey Zen, you should call the cops. And I was like, you know what, that's a good idea. He's like, say that he's stalking you. So I did. I called the cops to say that he was stalking me. And do you know how long it took for them to finally show up? 35 minutes. I could have been raped or killed in those 35 minutes. It disgusted me to no end that it took 35 minutes for someone to respond to the call. Regardless, when they came, they kind of made up for what happened Mind you, in the 35 minutes that from when I called, the guy had already left the station after harassing me some more, and I got video, picture, all of that of this guy doing this to me. He walked away to some apartments that were like across the street, and he stood there, and I'll insert the picture here. When the cops showed up, the cops said, "Where did he go?" They knocked on the doors, and guess who pops out? The dude. The cops yelled at him, told him that I could have him arrested in that moment for sexual assault. And I decided to let it slide because at least now he has a verbal warning, and maybe he'll get scared to the point where he won't do it again. But the cops said to me, if he says one word to me, just call the cops and they'll come and arrest him. And now, if I ever have to possibly have a restraining order taken out on this guy or whatever the case may be, I have a voice recording of the entire interaction with the cops and this gentleman. I have the guy's name. I have his address. I have the cops' names that were there. I have video and pictures of him. So I have everything I need to build a really strong case for myself. But that was the whole situation that happened. And for me, it just scares me to a point where this could happen, and it has happened to a lot of people. And this was the first time that it ever happened to the point where I was physically scared for my life. Because he's a big guy. He's not some skinny, shrimpy guy. And he could take me down if he really wants to. Now, I believe he has a mental illness. He said that he was autistic. I don't believe that. I've seen autistic people in person, and I don't think he's autistic. I think he's either trying to pretend like he has a mental illness, or there's just a screw loose in his head, and this is how he is. And if that's the case, then he needs to go to a psychiatrist. He needs something. He's insane. And I actually found out from someone today from that station that he's actually a sexual offender. So this isn't the first time that this guy has had problems like this before. This is what he does. And he hasn't been stopped. Had I known yesterday that this guy was a sexual offender, I would have said, yes, arrest him right there in front of me. But I didn't know that. And I wish I did. If you're watching this video right now and you've actually stayed through and you've watched this whole thing, I strongly encourage you to go and buy yourself a knife or pepper spray. Anything to protect yourself. You can buy pepper spray at an auto parts store. That's where I've gotten mine before. I do have my knife on me, and I'm glad I did because it gave me that extra security of just in case. Even if you have a car, I don't care. Get protection. Anything can happen. There are weirdos and crazy people everywhere like him in this world. And I'm lucky. I feel like I'm lucky to be alive. So, yeah. Anything can happen. And I'm happy I'm alive. And, yeah. I will see you guys on Tuesday. I wish I had a quote. I don't really have a quote. I guess, this is from me. Protect yourself against all odds. There, that's my quote. Speaks for itself. So, yeah. I will see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.